The number of dead in the two earthquakes which rocked Venezuela earlier this week has risen to 1,430, according to officials. Searches are underway across the country as rescue teams work to find anyone who might still be alive but trapped under collapsed buildings. Authorities say the number of dead is expected to rise further.
There are pockets of hope, even in the most desperate of times. This 4-year-old boy, pulled from the rubble alongside his mother and brother, having survived in a tiny space since Wednesday evening's earthquakes collapsed their home around them. These scenes are increasingly rare, though these are increasingly common. A young man trying to find his family by digging through what is left of their home with his bare hands. Though international help has started to arrive, there is growing frustration at the slow pace of government-led relief efforts, magnified by years of political and economic instability, in what aid agencies say is a response that will take months, not weeks.
A massive job to go through the rubble. Of course, the threat of aftershocks as well, so the rescuers are going out into amazingly complex conditions.
With aid agencies citing the 72 hours after a disaster on this scale as crucial to finding people alive, it is a race against time, and families know it. This woman says that this morning they heard a voice but couldn't get to the building because of the shaking. Just now we were told there were people still trapped in the elevator, she says. The hope now is that at least some of those still unaccounted for will be able to defy the odds. Fiona Mitchell, RTE News.
We're joined now by Fabio Bialchini, Medicine Sans Frontieres Head of Operations for Latin America, speaking to us from Rio de Janeiro tonight. Fabio, thank you for joining us. Perhaps you can begin to describe for us the sheer scale of the task being faced by your colleagues in the region and by others.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I think everybody is feeling overwhelmed right now. The level and the scale of the disaster is really overwhelming for everyone. We see more than thousands of people outside in the streets that no longer have a place to go back. We have seen many infrastructures that are completely collapsed or damaged, including hospitals that are no longer able to be operational. We see a surge in the number of patients, of course, trauma patients in emergency care units. And we see also the regular patients that now they don't have a place to go anymore either. So it's really something that is very concerning. It's still very early. So these earthquakes, they touched the Caracas and the surrounding areas less than 72 hours ago. So it's still a lot of chaos.
Yes.
And a lot of efforts for search and rescue at this point.
And with that in mind, how much international assistance will organisations like yourself and the others in Venezuela need? And is international aid starting to get through, do you think?
Yes, so we see some international support arriving, especially for search and rescue, which is the main priority in the first 72 hours. And we see as well a coordination of different agencies and organizations coming to Venezuela and organizing themselves to come to Venezuela. Us, as Doctors Without Borders, we were already present in Venezuela before the earthquake, so we had the opportunity to help right away. We already distributed emergency trauma kits for 5 different hospitals in Caracas, in La Guaira, that would cover the needs of around 1,000 patients, surgical patients. But of course, much more is needed.
OK, Fabio Bialchini of MSF Doctors Without Borders, thank you for speaking to us from Rio tonight. We really appreciate it. Thank you.